during the era of the Michael Jordan ownership. Today you're gonna get ready with me for alumni rehearsal for my NBA dance team, which I'm super excited about. It's been some years. I retired. I was actually an NBA dancer I'll get into it as I get ready. For starters, I swear by this primer, the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. I used it every single game when I was an NBA dancer for years. And I don't know if you're supposed to do this or not, but whenever I'm doing like a full face, I always start with my eyebrows first. He does it. I don't think I do my eyebrows right. So again, remember how they was cousins the other day? This is what we doing. I'll get ready. I'm gonna tell you about some of my favorite experiences as an NBA dancer for the Charlotte Hornets. I just feel like the internet is always filled with like negative experiences from people, but I want to tell you some of the good things that I experienced while I was here. Starting with the fact that in 2019, I got to go on a 10-day trip to China that actually ended on the day of my birthday. We spent 26 hours traveling, but they actually celebrated my birthday for me and with me in China. We bring out the nice pouch for this. That same year was also the year we had All-Star in Charlotte. And if you know anything about that month, we had 22 days straight of honeybee related things. And while it was a very fun experience, it was very exhausting to say the least. I got to meet Shaq and take a picture with him, see it right there. And he asked me, he said, "What are you, a gymnast?" I said, "No, sir, I'm a dancer and I just lift weights." He said, "Oh, what do they call y'all? The Hornets girls?" I said, "No, sir, Honey Bees." And then I asked him if he'd take a picture and he said yes. Another one of my really fun experiences is actually my very first game as an NBA dancer. I had worked my tail off for years to make the team of my dreams. And when I did, it was just like the rush of emotions came. It's very much one of those moments where like you really never forget. Opening night was just absolutely incredible. Another very special moment of me being a rookie on the Charlotte Hornets, my first season, was finding out who my big was. And the fact that my big is now still my best friend and my right hand, my biggest supporter, my biggest cheerleader, and the loudest person in the room when it comes to me. Very fun moment was the game when there were 6 of us and it was a snow day outside, and most people are like, "Oh my God, why would you go to work on a Sunday?" And we were like, no, we had the time of our lives. There were only 6 of us that could make it to the game. We did everything we were supposed to do and entertained that game as a 6 and had a blast. Like, we called ourselves the Mighty Six or something like that. It was fun. Another really fun moment was a game where I was dancing and our entrance came from multiple sides of the court. And on this particular song, my entrance came from the players' tunnel. And for whatever reason, this particular timeout was one in which the players congregated in the center of the court longer than normal. So when it came time for me to come out of my corner, there was not really a clear path and I barely made it to my spot. The song was on to the next one. Which reminds me that this was the year of one of our playoff pushes. And we danced to the song on to the next one because we knew that if we won, we were on to the next one and getting closer to playoffs. It was probably 2019, actually. It was definitely 2019. And the game before that, maybe 2 or 3 games before that, we were actually about to go out on court, ready, set up to go, and they pulled our dance because we started losing the game. I'm working for an organization who are realist about life. They were like, "We're not about to send y'all out there talking about some on to the next one when we're not going on to the next one." Another super cool thing about being on my particular NBA dance team is that we were such a glam team that one of our teammates, she's like a really big time makeup artist, shout out Jill Marie Beauty. She did a makeup class for us. And so while people pay for makeup artists now, we got the pleasure of having her as a teammate. And I don't have to pay people to do my makeup now because of how well she taught our whole squad. My favorite thing about being an NBA dancer for the Charlotte Hornets is the atmosphere and the fans in the building. Because respectfully, when I worked for the team, we weren't necessarily a winning organization at the time. So we had to make the show, be the show, literally everything in the building was about how you made people feel inside and outside through the game day experience. And so our involvement with everything from top to bottom, the time the doors open to the time the fans went home, was just super fun from an engagement standpoint. And getting to know your fan base on a personal level just changes the dynamic of support that you get throughout the community. Since I worked during the era of the Michael Jordan ownership, I did run into Michael Jordan several times in the building. My favorite games were always the ones where he was sitting on the court. And it just felt like, boss is here, everybody pop off. I mean, we popped off anyway, but it was just extra popping off, you know? There's definitely more that I will think of when I go to get ready on actual game day, and maybe I'll tell you that then. But for now, I finish up my face and then figure out what I'm gonna wear. Chapstick for the lips. Cute.